Malaysia and India set for greater heights in bilateral relations. Mother and son charged with murder of husband. Good evening. You're watching the evening edition of News On 2 with me, Renee Fong. National Organ Donation Public Awareness Action Committee Chairman Tan Sri Lee Lam Thai has called on the authorities to expedite investigations into the data breach involving personal details of more than 220,000 who had pledged their organs. He said he regretted these irresponsible parties and want them to be brought to justice.
Saya ingin mencadangkan bahawa pihak polis perlulah menjalankan siasatan ke akar umbi untuk menentukan sesiapa yang bertanggungjawab ini. Memang ini ada berkaitan dengan kepentingan ini peribadi ataupun ada kepentingan dengan ini perniagaan.
Tan Sri Lee said information on individuals who had pledged as organ donors are private, adding that stern action should be taken against those responsible. The data breach, which was leaked by online forum lawyat.net, involved donors registered with government hospitals and transplant centres. Leaked data included My Card numbers, full name of registrants, names of donors, closest relatives, contact details, race, sex and organs they wished to donate. The Malaysian Anti-Corruption Commission MACC has arrested 2 civil service officers for soliciting bribes in the form of 2 Harley-Davidson shirts valued at almost 500 ringgit as an inducement to facilitate a land application process. Magistrate Nur Shahida Abdul Rahim today ordered the officers to be remanded for 6 days to assist in the investigation into the case at the Langkawi Magistrates Court. The officers aged 31 and 30, who are assistant legal officers with the government, were picked up at about 2:30 p.m. yesterday at a restaurant in Langkawi. The MACC arrested the duo for corruption following a complaint by a 50-year-old self-employed individual. It is alleged that the duo had asked the individual to give them 2 Harley-Davidson shirts. The case is being investigated under Section 17, subsection A of the MACC Act 2009. Prime Minister Datuk Seri Najib Tun Razak has expressed confidence that Malaysia-India relations will reach greater heights as he commences his 2-day working visit to New Delhi to attend the ASEAN-India Commemorative Summit. The Premier's last visit to India in 2017 resulted in long-term investment commitments of 158 billion ringgit.
Sidang ini adalah bersempena dengan sambutan ulang tahun ke-25 hubungan dialog ASEAN-India. Banyak perkara bakal dibincang dan diketengahkan, antaranya melibatkan soal-soal perdagangan, pelaburan, konektiviti, keselamatan dan juga pertimbangan geopolitik.
The Prime Minister's statement has been uploaded onto his Facebook account. Datuk Seri Najib is confident that all his scheduled events in India this time around would go on smoothly. This is Datuk Seri Najib's 4th visit to India after taking over as the Prime Minister in 2009. The current visit is also at the invitation of his Indian counterpart, Narendra Modi. Besides Datuk Seri Najib, the leaders of the 9 other ASEAN countries are also attending the summit. All of them will also attend India's 69th Republic Day parade tomorrow as chief guests. A woman was today charged with the murder of her husband at the Johor Bahru Magistrates Court. Tay Lee Yong, 43, along with her teen son and 2 other teenagers, had been accused of murdering Q Kok Ying, 45, at a house in Taman Nusa Bistari between 9:30 a.m. and 10 a.m. on January 17th. The 4 individuals are being charged under Section 302 of the Penal Code, read together with Section 34. Magistrate Azurin Shahira Saufi Effendi read the charges before the 4 accused, who nodded that they understood the charges. The case remention was set for February 28 pending the post-mortem results. Deputy Public Prosecutor Muhammad Nasir appeared for the prosecution, whereas the 4 accused were represented by lawyer Chua Shui Chien and Ahmad Yusri Ahmad Fuad. An unemployed man pleaded not guilty to charges of stealing stingless bees' nests worth 5,000 ringgit last week. The accused, Ahmad Rifai Muhammad Noor, 25, made the plea before Magistrate Norina Maludin in the Ayer Keroh Court in Melaka today. According to the charge sheet, the accused is charged with the intention of stealing the stingless bees' nests worth 5,000 ringgit from TTB Honey Lot 1136 Ladang Felkra, Terbing Tinggi, Bukit Bayan, Melaka on January 19th. The accused is being charged under Section 380 of the Penal Code. During the proceedings, Deputy Public Prosecutor Muhammad Azri Zakaria proposed 10,000 ringgit as the bail amount for the accused. However, Magistrate Norina reduced the amount to 4,000 ringgit with one surety. Case remention was set for March 12. 50,000 ringgit worth of firecrackers was seized from a house in Ipoh, Perak yesterday. Ipoh Police OCPD ACP Muhammad Ali Tambi disclosed today that police uncovered 50 types of firecrackers and fireworks when they raided a house in Pasir Pinji, Ipoh. ACP Muhammad Ali Tambi added that a 54-year-old man was also detained in the raid. The suspect was believed to be a trader who had just obtained the firecrackers and fireworks to be sold for the Chinese New Year celebrations. The case is being investigated under the Explosives Act 1957. Meanwhile, in another case of firecrackers crackdown, the Kluang Region 2 Marine Police have seized various types of firecrackers during an Op Landai raid on a store near Jalan 4, Kampung Baru, Renggam in Johor. Region 2 Marine Police Commander ACP Paul Q disclosed today that the raid took place at 4:30 p.m. yesterday following Marine Police investigations as well as information from the public. ACP Paul said police also detained a man in his 30s during the raid and seized several boxes containing the firecrackers from the store. The case is being investigated under the Explosives Act 1957. Kelantan Police today disposed of 3.27 kilograms of various types of drugs, including 698 grams of methamphetamine pills at Lapang Sasar, Pak Juno, Rantau Panjang, Kelantan. State Narcotics Department Chief Superintendent Mit Emong said the drugs were used as evidence in court since 2006. The disposal, which was held for the first time in Kelantan this year, was also attended by Kelantan Assistant Superintendent of the Malaysian Anti-Corruption Commission, Muhammad Tajul Karami.
Tempat pertama dekat kita, dekat border. Lepas tu harga pi kuda ni, dia tak mahal, harga dia RM10. RM10 penting dadah talian, harga dia mahal.
Superintendent Mit Emong said the drugs, including methamphetamine pills, shabu and heroin, was seized between January until December last year. At the same time, he said enforcement efforts continue to be intensified in border areas where illegal smuggling is common. The Melaka contingent has seen a significant drop in drug abuse and disciplinary cases ever since the implementation of the Drug Control and Discipline Scheme program for its personnel, SKDD. According to Melaka OCPD, Dato' Abdul Jalil Hassan, the number of personnel involved in drug abuse has reduced to 8 individuals in 2017 compared to 12 in 2016.
Ini saya nampak keberkesanan program SKDD kita, Skim Kawalan Dadah dan Disiplin yang telah diterapkan, yang mana kita telah mengarahkan Jabatan Siasatan Jenayah Narkotik mengambil urin secara rambang tanpa dimaklumkan kepada ketua-ketua jabatan, di mana mereka akan datang secara mengejut dan mengambil urin anggota-anggota dan pegawai, termasuklah di daerah-daerah.
Dato' Abdul Jalil added that the 8 personnel were being investigated and will be subjected to disciplinary action as well as dismissed from service if they tested positive for drugs. And in Jitra, Kedah, a senior citizen almost died in a fire in Kampung Teluk Malek early this morning. State Fire and Rescue Department in a statement said the residents had managed to rescue the 73-year-old victim before his double-storey house was destroyed in the 7:11 a.m. incident. It added that 10 firefighters led by Cik Kop Cik Dan from the Jitra Fire and Rescue Department together with the volunteer firefighting team from Tunjang, Kedah managed to put out the fire. The victim was sent to the Jitra Hospital for treatment. Cause of fire is still under investigation. Individuals who intend to climb or enter forest areas using motorcycles or four-wheel drive vehicles are advised to apply for a permit from State Forestry Department in advance. This is to prevent any untoward incidents from taking place. The Forestry Department of Peninsular Malaysia Deputy Director General Datuk Roslan Arifin said the entire forest areas in the peninsula are reserved and are very dangerous for any form of activity.
Bila hutan tertutup, dia mesti mendapat permit memasuki hutan baru boleh dia masuk. Apabila dia tak ada permit memasuki hutan simpan, saya takut apa-apa berlaku kepada diri beliau, insurans tak cover. Itu hati-hatilah. Bukan kita minta, bukannya mahal, setengah negeri 30 ataupun setengah negeri RM10 je.
Datuk Roslan said action may be taken under Section 47 of the National Forestry Act 1984, Act 313, for entering a forest reserve without permission and extracting forest resources. Those found guilty could be fined not more than 10,000 ringgit or jailed for not more than 3 years or both. Datuk Roslan said this after launching the briefing and dialogue session relating to Environmental Quality Command at the Perak Forestry Department in Ipoh. Coming up in our business segment, Malaysia to lead development of satellite industry in ASEAN. Full story ahead. The Comprehensive and Progressive Agreement for Trans-Pacific Partnership CPTPP agreement is slated to be signed on March 8, 2018 in Chile. Minister of International Trade and Industry, Datuk Sri Mustafa Mohamad, in a statement said the date would, however, have to be formally confirmed by the CPTPP ministers. Chief negotiators of the 11 CPTPP member countries met in Tokyo for 2 days starting January 22, 2018 as a follow-up from the ministerial meeting held in Da Nang, Vietnam on November 10, 2017. Datuk Sri Mustafa said all member countries came to an agreement on 4 specific issues, including Malaysia's request for additional flexibility to conduct preferential purchases for the upstream oil and gas sector. He is also satisfied with the outcome of the meeting, which will be tabled to the Cabinet for its consideration, as well as the success of the negotiators who once again successfully defended Malaysia's interests. Datuk Sri Mustafa expects more jobs to be created due to increased trading and investment environment under CPTPP, as well as widening options for goods and services in the market. ASN Satellites Corporation Sdn Bhd and China-based telco provider Tatwa Group have signed an agreement for a 5-year strategic partnership in satellite services. The signing of the deal worth 975 million ringgit was witnessed by Communications and Multimedia Minister Datuk Sri Dr. Saleh Said Kerwa in Kuala Lumpur today. ASN Satellites Corporation Sdn Bhd was represented by its Group Chief Executive Officer Andrew Huan Lee, while Tatwa Group was represented by its Chairman Chai Xiao Ru. The agreement is to develop the satellite industry in the ASEAN region with Malaysia as the leader.
As you know, the space technology in China has been improved tremendously, such as manufacturing the satellite, or the launching vehicle, the company like Long March, they are like one of the well-known company in the world now. So Chinese space technology has been improved a lot.
Apart from China, other countries, namely Japan, South Korea and the US, have expressed interest in developing the ASEAN satellite industry after acknowledging its potential in the region. The flood mitigation project in flood-prone Maran in Pahang would likely cost the government an estimated $15 million to implement. The cost includes setting up a water pump station, flood wall and water retention pond as part of a long-term plan to control the flood from causing more damage in the future.
Saya mencari jalan solution bersama beberapa jabatan, JPS, JKA dan lain-lain untuk menyelesaikan secara menyeluruh. Saya sangat tak ada masa dah saya untuk ni. Saya akan serius dalam perkara ini. Sebab itulah saya minta jurulatih JPS, LORETTA bersama staf dia, kaki tangan dia menyediakan satu comprehensive paper proposal untuk kita menyelesaikan masalah banjir ini.
Datuk Sri Dr. Ismail said they are in the midst of drafting up a proposal and submit it to the Prime Minister as soon as possible. The recent floodings had affected 391 residents after their homes were inundated with water flowing from the river. All government agencies have been urged to set up their respective road safety units as part of creating awareness among civil servants. Transport Minister Datuk Sri Leow Tiong Lai hopes that with the initiative, the ministry's target to reduce road accidents would be realised. To this end, Datuk Sri Leow said his ministry has launched its latest road safety campaign, which is aimed at reducing the number of motorists killed in road accidents. He added that the number keeps increasing every year. In 2016, the number of accidents stood at 521,466 compared to less than 490,000 the previous year.
Mulakan, kita akan berterusan, but we start this year, di mana semua agensi kita galakkan mereka wujudkan unit keselamatan jalan raya. In fact, kita dah minta kerjasama daripada JPA lah, Jabatan Perkhidmatan Awam, untuk ingatkan kepada semua agensi kerajaan.
Datuk Sri Leow said this to reporters after launching a road safety campaign in conjunction with the coming Chinese New Year celebration at the Sungai Besi Toll Plaza today. Football Association of Malaysia, FAM President Tunku Ismail Sultan Ibrahim has stated that the national body will not stand in the way if there are offers for the Malaysian under-23 team to ply their trade with foreign clubs. Tunku Ismail noted that if any of the young Tigers had an opportunity to sign for big foreign clubs, it would be good not only for their career but also the future of the national team. Following the success of the young Tigers at the AFC Under-23 Championship in China, Tunku Ismail said it would be good for any player to play for a foreign club as he could then share his experience with the rest of his teammates.
Saya berdoa dan berharap mereka semua main di luar negara. Sapawi, pada saya siapa-siapa dapat peluang ataupun dapat peluang, dapat offer daripada pertandingan yang lebih tinggi, mereka harus pergi. Jangan duduk di sini. Main di peringkat yang lebih tinggi supaya apabila mereka balik, mereka boleh berkhidmat dan berkhidmat untuk pasukan kebangsaan.
Meanwhile, Tunku Ismail confirmed that national under-23 coach Ong Kim Swee will be sent to La Liga side Atletico Madrid for a coaching attachment in March. He said it will help Kim Swee improve on his coaching methods in a move to take his under-23 side to the next level. Meanwhile, commenting on Johor Darul Takzim JDT's loss to Thai club Muang Thong United in the AFC Champions League preliminary round 2 in Bangkok, Thailand, Tunku Ismail said it was expected. He said there is still a gap between JDT and the top teams regularly competing in the Champions League, but hoped the management, including the coach and players, see the defeat as a lesson learned for future attempts at qualifying for the prestigious competition.
Saya happy dengan keputusan because that was ada orang kata light at the end of the tunnel. So realistically speaking, they're a better team dan kita tak boleh rasa selesa. Kita harus sentiasa kena progress dan belajar daripada kesilapan dan kelemahan kita.
Tunku Ismail hopes that JDT will not give up on chasing more honours and maintaining their hold on the local football scene. And that concludes this evening's News on 2. In our top story, JB woman and son, along with 2 teens charged with brutal murder of husband. Join us again at 12:30 tomorrow afternoon. I'm RENEE, Loretta Fong. Stay tuned to TV2. Good night and have a pleasant evening.